Welcome. I'm Eunice. Thank you for joining me on this journey to mastering relaxation. This is a post-workout stretch sequence for a deep release and to build flexibility. Grab any props that you may need, keep them close by. You always have the option to skip, modify, or find a different variation of any posture that doesn't serve your body today. And remember, your body is the guru. Honor and listen to it. Let's begin seated in Sukhasana, easy seated pose with the legs crossed. And make 3 large circles with the shoulders, bringing the shoulders up by the ears, around, back, and down. And then you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. Bring the backs of the hands to rest on the knees, palms face up, and take a moment to arrive to your practice. You can set an intention or just focus on your inhalations and your exhalations. Gently blink the eyes open. Let's move into a side stretch. Place the left hand on the ground, across and away from the left hip. Keep the hips plugged, especially the right hip, and then stretch the right arm straight and up overhead. Roll the right shoulder back, send the heart forward. Inhale to release. Release the right arm down and let the left ear fall towards the left shoulder. And then slide up. The head comes up last. Let's move to the opposite side. Plug the right hand into the ground. Root down through the hips and the knees. Shoulders move away from the ears and stretch the left arm up overhead. Make sure to roll that left shoulder back and send your heart forward. To release, we'll drop the left arm down, send the right ear towards the right shoulder, getting a nice neck stretch. And then on your next inhalation, slide the body up, bringing the head up last. Inhale, draw both arms up overhead, the palms come to touch. Exhale, take a spinal twist to the left. Place the left hand behind the lower back on the ground, and use your inhalation to sit up nice and tall, grow tall through the crown of the head. Exhale to twist from the belly button area. Draw the shoulders down and the heart forward. Take an inhale to release back to center. And then exhale, twist to the right. Using your inhalations to grow tall through the spine and your exhalations to twist deeper. Inhale, come back to center and release. Let's move into eagle arms. Inhale, bring the arms out to a T. Exhale and land the left elbow on the right inner elbow. And you can take different variations here. You can bring the back of the hands to touch. You can rest the palms on opposite shoulders, or take the full bind, wrapping the right forearm around the left. The palms come to touch. Draw the elbows up and the shoulders down. Send the heart forward. And make sure to relax your hips and your knees. Inhale to release the arms out into a T. Exhale, land the right elbow on the inner left elbow, taking the same variation you took on the opposite side. On your next exhalation, release the arms and take a moment to roll out the shoulders. Let's move into the wrists and more into the shoulders. Interlace the fingers, making a basket with the hands, And then bring the palms up to the heart level. As you exhale, push the palms away from the chest. And then take an inhale, bringing the palms to face up. As you exhale, release the arms and roll out the wrists to land down to the ground. Let's try that again. Interlace the fingers, the palms face up, and draw them up to the chest level. Exhale to push the palms away from the chest. Inhale, palms face up, and then release the arms as you roll out the wrists. Take this flow 2 more times. Okay, coming to the end of our flow, we're going to move into the neck. Bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, and then bring the head forward, chin towards the chest, and then send the left ear towards the left shoulder. At your own pace, go back and forth through these half circles, stretching into the neck. The next time you make your way to the left shoulder, hold the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then tilt the chin down towards the underarm. And with the left hand, place it on the back of the skull and gently pull the back of the head away from the shoulder as you draw the shoulders down, stretching into the back of the neck. Then inhale to release, right ear towards the right shoulder. Tilt the chin down towards the underarm and use the right hand on the back of the skull to gently pull the head away from the shoulders. Take an inhale to release. And let's find our way into tabletop position on all fours. Move the knees back a little bit, making your tabletop wide, and let's take some hip circles. Check in with your body and see where you're at today, and decide if you want to make your hip circles nice and large or smaller. You can switch the directions of your hip circles here, taking it in the opposite direction. Release, come back to center on all fours. We're gonna move through some cat-cows. Make sure the wrists are stacked under the shoulders and the knees are stacked under the hips. On an inhale, dip the belly down low, send the tailbone up, the heart forward and the shoulder heads back. Exhale as you push into the hands and the shins, round through your upper back, navel towards your spine. Inhale, heart forward, tailbone up, shoulders back. Exhale, round through the upper back, push into the ground, belly button towards the spine. Move through a few more cat-cows at your own pace. We're going to come back to center to release. Let's move into downward facing dog. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Push into the hands, tuck the back toes under. Send the heart center towards the upper thighs and send the hips up and back. Keep a nice deep bend in the knees if the back body is tight. You can also pedal out through the legs and the feet, stretching the hamstrings and taking the stretch all the way up into the buttocks. Come back to center. Let's move into high lunge. On your next inhalation, bend the left knee and send the left foot between the hands. The left ankle stacked right under the left knee. And hold for one breath cycle. And then use your next exhalation to gently place the right knee down, untuck the right toes. You can place blocks under the hands here, and it's important to keep a flat back. Sink the hips down. On your next inhalation, heel toe the left foot over to the left side of the mat, keeping the pinky toe edge of the foot parallel with the long side of the mat. The left knee and the left toes point the same direction, and the left knee is over the left ankle. Both hands are on the inside of the left arm, and sink the hips down and send the heart forward. Take an inhale, tuck the right back toes under, and lift your lizard up into a high lizard. And you can hold it still or move back and forth over the right back toes. Take your next inhalation to place the right hand towards the upper right corner of the mat, and then turn the left toes and the left knee over towards the left side of the mat and come onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot into Shiva's couch. Sink the hips down low. Then use your next inhalation to push into the right hand and both feet. Lift the hips, send the left arm up overhead and get a full body stretch on the left side of the body. Then gently draw the hips down towards the ground, pushing the left knee away from the body. Take an inhale to release and come back into low lunge. Heel toe the left foot back in between the hands. Rest the right knee down and tuck the right toes. Let's find half split pose. You may need to walk the left foot forward a little bit. Draw the hips back, flex the left toes towards the face, and you can always keep a nice soft bend in the left knee if the hamstrings are tight. Inhale, tuck the right back toes under, and send the left leg back for downward facing dog. Let's move to the opposite side. Send the right foot in between the hands for high lunge and just hold for one breath cycle. Exhale to gently place the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Maintain a flat back and sink the hips down. We'll move into lizard by heel toeing the right foot over towards the right. Keep your flat back, send your heart forward, sink the hips down. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee, coming up into high lizard, and then move back and forth on the back left toes. We'll move into Shiva's couch. Swivel and turn the right toes towards the right knee, right toes face the same direction. Come onto the left pinky toe edge of the left foot and sink the hips down. Take an inhale to push into the left hand and to both feet, lifting the hips, sending the right arm up overhead. And then exhale to sink the hips down, pushing the right knee towards the back of the mat. Take an inhale to release, coming back into low lunge to move into half splits. Place the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Then you may want to move the right foot forward a little bit, and then push the hips back to come onto the right heel, flex the right toes towards the face, and you can always keep a nice soft bend in the right knee. Inhale to come forward to release. Send the right leg back, and let's find child's pose. Bring the big toes together, send the knees out wide. Then as you exhale, melt the heart center down between the legs, resting the forehead on a block, a blanket, or just on the ground. Soften the upper back, soften your hips. Inhale to come upright. Come over your legs and find your way onto your back. Bring the soles of the feet onto the ground, both knees bent, and then draw the right knee in towards the chest. You can keep the left leg bent or extend it long, flexing the left toes. On an inhale, move the right knee away from the body, and as you exhale, draw it in closer towards the chest. And you also can circle out the right ankle. Take an inhale to release, moving over to the left side. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Flex the right toes if the leg is long. And then just move back and forth, sending the left knee away from the body, and then exhale, drawing the left knee in towards the chest. You can also circle out the left ankle. Inhale to release and drop both the knees in towards the chest. Hug the knees in close and take a rock from side to side to massage the back line. Grab a hold of the outer edges of the feet. You can bring the soles of the feet together and stay, pushing the knees out wide, or open up the legs wide into happy baby pose. Draw the knees down toward the ground, relax your shoulders, and you can rock from side to side. You can hold your happy baby pose or take a hamstring stretch, just alternating between the legs. Lengthen out both legs if your hamstrings are able to today. Release the legs down and let's find our final resting pose, Shavasana. Take the legs out wide, let the feet flop away from one another. Take the arms by the side, the palms face up. Scan the body, release any controlled breathing, and make sure that the calves and the thighs are relaxed. Release the toes and the feet. Let the lower back sink into the ground. Soften the heart center as you release the chest, the shoulders, even the collarbones. Let the fingers relax and maybe they curl in towards the palm. Soften your jaw, the muscles around the mouth, the muscles around the eyes, the muscles of the forehead. Let the corners of the eyes melt toward the ears. Soften the muscles of the crown of the head. Release and soften the whole body. Take a nice, long, deep inhalation. And as you exhale, bring some movement into the fingers and the toes, bringing yourself out of this deep relaxation. You could stretch the arms up overhead. And then find your way to a side lying position and take a pause. It's a great moment to extend gratitude and thanks to yourself, to your body. And then push into the ground, keeping your gaze soft or your eyes closed, and come back to Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Rest the backs of the hands on the knees, palms face up, and take a nice clearing breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale to sigh it out through the mouth. And give yourself a moment to check in with your inner state. On an inhale, sweep the arms out, around, and up, and the palms come to touch. Land the palms on the forehead as a reminder that you are the master of your Zen. Palms come to rest at the lips as a reminder to communicate our truth with authenticity and kindness. Palms come to rest at the heart center as a reminder to know thyself and love thyself. Thank you for practicing with me. Peace and ease to you. If you enjoyed this session and it helped you, please share it with someone that it can help. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be aware of when I post. Until next time.